Hey guys, Kelade here. Let's talk about stats for today. So to tackle those stats, let's just go over the biggest problem right now is, do we need 30% haste? And the answer is no. There's no reason for anybody to purposefully aim and hit 30% haste. There's nothing that happens to your rotation, nothing really changes once you hit there. So I think where a lot of people are getting caught up is, well, one is that there used to be a haste breakpoint when we didn't have Reckless Abandon giving us 2 extra seconds during Battle Cry. So we needed somewhere around 24% haste, more if you had latency issues, about adding another GCD during Battle Cry. Now that was fine back then, but since we all take Reckless Abandon, we don't need that anymore. And some people are throwing around 30% just because one person sent his gear, and that 30% for him and his personal character, 30% was the point where Mastery started becoming more better of a stat than Haste was point for point. Now, even at that point, for him, Haste is still the second best stat, right? Like for me right now is I'm at 25% haste, and at 25% haste, Mastery starts scaling better than haste. But that doesn't mean I just stop going for haste altogether, right? That doesn't mean I hit this point and that's it for haste. Now, generally, when we look at stats, you have to look at also the gear that you're wearing, right? So essentially, there's a lot of stats that inflate the value of mastery. Having a really high ILO Draft of Souls, increases the value of mastery. Having the 4-piece tier bonus, because it gives you more enrage uptime, increases the value of mastery. Having convergence of fates also increases your mastery value because more convergence of fates means more battle cries. More battle cries just means more enrage uptime. Essentially, as you get more geared and as you get better at playing Fury, your enrage uptimes will go up. And of course, anything that you can do to increase that damage, such as increasing your mastery, will definitely help. Now, since we don't have a hard point on when you want to switch from haste to mastery, because that's all dependent on your gear, you really have to simulate your own character to see what fits the best. Now, of course, I also get people asking, oh, now why are you wearing all this gear with haste and crit on it that don't have any mastery on it? Well, to be frank, those are just the best pieces of gear that I have, right? You're not always going to have the best itemized gear in all of your slots, right? Just look at the tier chest. I mean, it has horrible stats, but for me, it works the best because it lets me use my legendary helmet, it lets me use my legendary cape, and I have really good pieces in the other slots that other legendaries will be swapping out anyways. So the gain of using other legendaries, I don't get as much. So you really do need to sim your own gear. Don't worry about what somebody says about, oh, this is the current breakpoint. There is currently no breakpoint for Fury Warriors where anything happens because you hit a threshold or something. That currently is not a thing that happens for Fury Warriors. Maybe down the line, maybe in 7.2.5, something might come up. But currently, let me get this clear. There is no breakpoint at 30% haste. Nothing happens. I just want to get that video out to you guys. Just make sure that you don't get blindsided by trying so hard to go for a stats, right? I've had people that come up to me and ask, hey, I'm going to lose 8% mastery just so I can hit 30% haste. Why? Why? Like, there's no need. Just think about, when people tell you stat weights, always ask, why am I doing this, right? So the value of haste is that you get more rage, right? It'll give you better enrage uptime because you're just hitting stuff faster, and your GCDs are slightly lower, so more percent of the time you're enraged. That's great. But you have to really look at why something is happening, and there's no reason to hit 30% haste other than it's just an arbitrary number. Some people said just because it was a lazy way to tell, new Fury players how to gear, but nothing happens. So if you guys are going to take anything away from this video, take away the fact that nothing happens at 30% haste, and you should sim your character to see where stack weights are and what stats are going to be the best for your character. As always, thanks for watching the video, guys. Be sure to subscribe to see more content. See ya.